Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be doing a super laid back video. We're just going to be doing a Q&A. I asked you to send in any questions that you have for me on Instagram and Snapchat, and I thought it'd be a lot of fun to also include your videos like I did last time. I'm going to start off by answering your questions on Instagram. It's so funny because in every Q&A, one of the first questions is always about my husband. So the very first question is, what is the nicest thing you and your husband have ever done for each other? You know what? I'm gonna text my husband and ask him. We'll see what he says. So I would have to say that the sweetest thing that he's ever done for me is definitely having my back whenever I decided to not go into the corporate world and join YouTube instead. So he had my back 1,000%. So my husband just texts back. He said, the sweetest thing you've ever done for me was when you said yes to marrying me. I said yes because I loved him. Well, I love him. I still love him, obviously. This is a cute one. Kristen asked, what was your first impression of your husband when you first met? Okay, you have to understand where my brain was at the time, because this is, I've told you guys the story of how we met. We met in real estate, and he was he was my mentor for a little bit. And the first day I went to go meet him, I had already spoken to him over the phone. So my husband is very well spoken, and the way that he talks, you don't expect him to be the age that he is. And back then when we met, he was like 25 years old, and he spoke like he was in his mid 30s, almost 40. So that's what I expected to see when I went to go meet him in the office. And I was very shocked when he turned around and he was like good looking and young. So that was my first impression, was just shocked. Pali86 or Paye, I'm not sure. She said, what advice do you have for tan Hispanic Latina girls when it comes to criticism or just plain being looked down by our same culture for not being light-skinned? I definitely experienced that even still today as an adult, which you would think adults would be more adult. My advice to you is stand your ground. And what I mean by that is nobody can make you feel inferior unless you let them. And I'm gonna give you guys a story. It's something that happened to me pretty recently. I would say about a year or 2 years ago, that definitely made me know how to react in these kinds of situations. Where I live, there's a lot of Hispanic people, but there's a lot of light-skinned Hispanic people that come from wealthy families, and they definitely look down on anybody that is tan skin or anybody that's a different skin color than they are, even though they are Hispanic and they speak Spanish. Really crazy, right? I don't remember what store I was at, but I was looking at something, and this lady, she had her little baby stroller with her, and she literally stood right next to me, and then she got right in between me and the shelf that I was looking at, and it was just done in such a rude way, almost like you don't exist type of way. And it just made my blood boil because she was acting like she was superior to me. Before this happened, I would have probably just walked around to the other side and just looked at another display. I don't know, something in me just said, no, I'm gonna stand my ground and I'm not gonna take it. So I'm sure she expected me to kind of say, excuse me, and move out of the way. But she was the one that got in my way and didn't say excuse me. So I just stood there, and I think she was really caught off guard because I didn't move, I didn't acknowledge her. I didn't say anything, and she ended up being the one to leave and didn't say anything at all. And I would always defend people that would do that to me, because I'm like, well, maybe they don't speak English and they don't know how to say excuse me, but no, there's body language, like you kind of look at somebody and smile and kind of like excuse me with your facial expression, but that wasn't what I was getting. Bottom line is, if you don't allow others to make you feel inferior about anything, whether it's your skin color, your religion, the way that you look, you can't feel inferior. It's impossible, because what they think is irrelevant. So I hope that helps you out. And I know it's really sad that we still have to deal with stuff like that. I feel like I talked way too much about that subject. Let's go on. Joanne Z's Life asked, what's your favorite Panamanian dish? This one is so easy, and I ask my mom to make this all the time. It's pollo guisado with arroz con coco y ensalada de papa. How would you describe the chicken? Like a chicken stew? It's like in a red sauce. Oh, it's so good. And then coconut rice and potato salad. It's just so good. And you put a little bit of that sauce from the chicken on top of the salad. And so Chelly Mirod. My husband and I are frugal, but I love quality things over quantity. What is your best advice for building a wardrobe/beauty arsenal while still being responsible financially? I feel like I can confidently actually answer this question because I'm living it right now. Number one thing is to make a list of the things that you actually want. It's easy to forget, and then you can get caught up in the trends, and you just can make impulse purchases that way if you don't actually have a wish list and something that you're saving up towards. Babe?
Hey, you filming?
Just talking about you. Everybody wants to know about you.
Hi. Hi, baby. Hang on. Sorry, I hope you don't get this in your shot, but this is important.
Vanessa Wolf asked, advice you'd give your 20-year-old self, tips for someone thinking of starting their own YouTube or Instagram page dedicated to makeup. And I have so many things that I would tell my 20-year-old self, and I think one of them would definitely be to spend more time with the people that I love instead of people that don't matter. I can't tell you how many friends I had back then, and all that time I could have spent it with people that I love. You know, there's some people, well, one person in particular that I never got to say goodbye to, and I didn't know that she was going to be gone that quickly. And I'm talking about my abuelita, of course. She passed away when I was a lot younger, and instead I spent way too much time partying and hanging out with the wrong people and doing things that ultimately I regretted. And I also blew off school. I didn't actually start taking school seriously until I was about 24 years old. I could have been done so much faster. But then again, you know, things play out and things work out in a way that you look back on them, and every little thing that happens in your life has a role. You know, like I would have never met my husband. As far as starting your own YouTube channel, definitely just be consistent, because that's how your channel is going to grow, and interact with the people that support you whenever you do start uploading videos, because every single person there could be doing something way better with their time, but instead they're watching you. And there's a lot of questions about kids, so I'm just going to answer that right now. Definitely after my nephew was born, I am just so in love with that little boy. Like, I never thought I could love a little kid like that. But yes, I do want kids. My husband and I definitely want kids. And it's raining really hard. I hope you guys can't hear the rain. And we're getting closer and closer to having kids every day. Yeah, I feel like I can open up to you guys a little bit more, so I can definitely tell you guys a little bit more about our plans. And the reason, because I know you guys are dying to know why we're waiting so long. So my husband is the oldest son in his family. I'm the oldest daughter, or just oldest child, period. He's the oldest in his family. I'm the oldest in mine. We feel like it is our responsibility to become successful and take our families along with us. And one day, you guys, I envision having like a ranch, or not even a ranch, but like a huge piece of land, and then building a house for me and my husband and our kids, and then a house for his parents, and then a house for my mom, and then like all of us living right, kind of like our own little neighborhood. So that's like our life plan, and we can't do that if we have little ones right now. So we're kind of waiting to kind of get all the pieces to fall in place, and they're actually starting to fall in place. So we're getting so much closer to having kids and having our own little ones. A child requires a lot of saving up. So yeah, hope that kind of gives you guys a better understanding of why we're waiting to have kids. That's so funny. Fat Miss World 1 said, you can't avoid the kids question. Paola8812 asked, hi Liz, your channel is my favorite. Thank you. I look forward to your lifestyle videos every week. It seems like you have a beautiful and happy marriage, and it's so difficult sometimes to have that. What is your advice to maintain a great relationship with your husband? Love you lots, and thank you for making these Q&A videos. God bless you, and hope your channel continues to grow. You know, and this is a question that I got a lot on here as I'm scrolling through. A lot of people asked just like advice on marriage, and I actually want to recommend everybody that's asking those type of questions. I want to recommend a book to you. And this book, I discovered it after my husband and I got married. His parents sent us to this, like, I forgot what it's called. It's like a marriage retreat, but it's specifically for married couples. I think I said that. The rain is just like messing with the lighting. So this marriage retreat, it's an entire weekend, and you go to like different seminars that they host for you, and it's like couples activities, and you're supposed to go off together because you have like a date night. So I'm going to insert a picture of the book, or I will leave the book listed down below in the info box because I don't have it. I lent it to a friend. But if you guys want to check that book out, it is phenomenal. It's a really easy, quick read, and I would recommend it to any woman that, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're engaged or married, or you just want to understand men better, I highly recommend this book. It just goes into so much detail about the way that men think. Mel Gradillas. I think that's in Spanish. What was your childhood like? What was the biggest change for you when you grew up to the States? Love your channel. Thank you. We came from very humble beginnings. I grew up in Panama, and then coming to the States, I saw what people lived like over here, and I was like, I want that. I'm gonna have that. I want AC and carpet. I'm not joking, you guys. Those were the things that I looked forward to the most living in the US. In Panama, there's no central AC. I mean, I'm sure there is now, but back then there wasn't. There was no such thing as like carpets and rugs and things like that. So the floors were literally made out of concrete, and it wasn't anything I complained at the time. I didn't know any better. My husband and I have a lot of like talks, like just randomly we just talk about our future and our goals, and we also talk about like what it was like growing up and how it's just so crazy to see where we're at today. Neither of us came from money, neither of us came from wealth or anything like that. Everything that we have, we created it, and we have it because of our parents. My mom came to the US, and because of her I had all these opportunities. But I remember if anybody lives in Panama right now, you may know the street, but it's in Colon and it's called Calle 10. And right now it's a really rough area, but back then it actually wasn't that bad. So this apartment, I kid you not, it must have been like a 400 square feet apartment. Maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit smaller, but it had 2 rooms. It had the main living room that had the kitchen, the living room, and the table, basically the table. We just put a table in that room. And then you walked into another room. It had a curtain separating it, and that room was our bedroom and our one bathroom that we all shared. And I remember at one point there was almost like 10 people living in that apartment. It was me and my sisters, so that's 3, my mom, my abuelita, my abuelito, and then my uncle and aunt moved in, and I don't think they had their baby yet. We were all living in that apartment together, and I used to share this bed. It was like a king size bed, and my mom and my sisters all slept on that bed, and then my abuelita and abuelito slept on a smaller twin size bed. And then when my uncles moved in, they brought in their own little foldable bed. I was always very happy. I was a happy kid. My mom made sure that I had everything I needed. I had food, I had clothes, I had a roof over my head. From there we moved into a little bit of a nicer apartment where it was just my mom and my sisters and me, and that was a lot of fun. But I actually was always at my abuelita's house because I always wanted to be with them, so we might as well just all lived in that old apartment anyways. I wouldn't want it any other way. I love the fact that I got to grow up in a different culture and experience a different culture and then come to the US. I love that. I'm so happy that I got to do that because I have such a different perspective on things. I would say my biggest adjustment was learning the language. I still have a lot of problems with like sayings. Like I feel like a lot of sayings don't make sense. Like that saying, is it you got to take the good with the bad? That makes no sense to me because that implies that you chose to take the bad and then the good came along with it. So I always say it backwards. I always say you got to take the bad with the good. So yeah, that was the biggest change for me for sure. Soulful MLA asked, what is your favorite food? I think most of you guys could guess that. Potatoes. Anything potato chips, baked potato, mashed potatoes, French fries. I don't discriminate against the potato family. So a lot of people wanted to know about real estate, why I stopped doing it, and pros and cons and things like that. So I basically transitioned over to doing YouTube. I know it's hard to imagine because you see the end result. Sometimes it's like a 5-minute long video or a 7-minute long video, but there's a lot of hours that go into filming and editing and planning. So doing 2 to 3 videos a week is a full-time job, you guys. Like I didn't know that either. Before I started making videos, I thought people just sat in front of the computer or in front of the camera and just talked about makeup. But it's actually a lot of work, especially when you have like an actual themed video that you put together. Okay, so now we are going to go into Snapchat and I'm gonna start opening your questions and start answering them. I am so excited. This is so much fun for me to open and actually watch you guys ask me questions. Let's make sure the volume's on.
Your videos, I love your little fashion. Your hair, your makeup is on point. And Swansea is, what's your favorite filter on Snapchat? Mine is this, all the flower effect.
Yeah, I love that filter on you. You look gorgeous. My favorite filter on Snapchat is, let me see if I can find it. Oh, they don't have it anymore. It was the little Yorkie filter. But aside from that, that one right there, it's the flower crown. That's my favorite filter. I love that filter.
Hey Liz, I wanted to know, when do you plan on having babies? Love you.
Love you too. See, I'm telling you guys, the baby thing.
Hey Liz, I love you and your videos,
Hi, love you.
especially about food. So my question is, how do you continue to stay motivated to constantly eat healthy?
How do I stay motivated to eat healthy? I look at old pictures of myself when I was single and super skinny. No, but seriously, like the other day I found a bunch of old pictures of when I first met my husband, and I even had a picture like in a bikini, and man, I want that body back.
Hey Liz, I just wanted to ask you, what are your favorite essentials for the fall and winter time, whether that be makeup or skincare? Love you.
Love you. I'm actually going to do a whole video talking about just my fall essentials, so I will go over that in that video.
Hi, I just wanted to know, what is your favorite to die for palette? Hi, so this year I'm doing a Halloween party for my daughters. I just want to know, what is like a best way to save on money, stay on budget, some great ideas?
Oh my gosh, those filters are so cute. I just did the tag where I talked about all of my Holy Grail products. It's like my ride or die. And I'll leave that video link down below. I did it last week, and in there I go over every single product from eyeshadow to lipstick to foundation and all of that. I'm going to leave a link down below to the budgeting philosophy that my husband and I believe in. It's by Dave Ramsey, and he talks about how you get out of debt and how to budget and things like that.
Hi Liz, what's your favorite skincare you can live without? Love you.
Oh, you're so beautiful. Your baby is precious. Did you say favorite lipstick? Oh man, I didn't. Can I replay it? Yes, I can. She said skincare. So my favorite skincare, you guys know I try different skincare all the time. So right now, my favorite skincare has to be, I just ran out of it. It's my moisturizer, the Belief Cream, and I'm trying something else out, but it's not working out too well, so I think I'm going to go back and repurchase that Belief Cream because it did wonders for my skin. It's so hydrating, and I've always told you guys, if you have a good eye cream and a good moisturizer, you are set. Your skin is going to love you and thank you for it.
Hi Liz, I absolutely love your videos and your channel. I was wondering, what are your top 3 decorating tips for someone who just moved into a new home? Thanks!
Don't go out and buy everything all at once. There is no rush. You have the rest of your life to furnish your home. My second tip is fill it with things that make you happy. You know, I share with you guys what I do in my home, and sometimes I get comments of people telling me that they don't like my stuff, that they think it's too much or it's too little or the colors don't go, but in the end, everything that I have in my home makes me happy, and that's all that matters. So focus on getting things that make you happy, and don't think of what other people are going to think about your home. Also, especially if you have never furnished a home before, there is this website, I forgot what it's called. I talk all about it in a video that I did a couple years ago. It's called 5 Tips to Furnishing an Empty Room. If you haven't watched that video, I will leave it linked down below, but I talk about all that stuff in that video. But there's this website you can go to, and you can build your room and add measurements and all of that, and that helped me so much because a lot of the furniture that I bought was online and I didn't always know if it was going to fit.
Hey Liz, I know that you love watching Friends, but what's that one movie that you could watch over and over that's your favorite?
Oh, you know, and I have watched it over and over again. It's Legally Blonde, the first movie. I don't even know how many times I've seen that movie. I love that movie. It's just such a happy movie, and it's got so many pretty colors and cute clothes, and that's it.
Hi Liz, my name is Margot. I'm from Chicago. I just want to let you know I love you so much.
Aw, I love you
I was
too.
just wondering, if you could hate on YouTube, how do you deal with all the haters?
I'm still learning how to deal with it. I'm a very sensitive person by nature. I know they say, like, going into YouTube, you should know that people are going to talk about you and they're going to have their own opinions about you, which is fine, but that doesn't give people the right to leave ugly comments about you anywhere on the internet. I don't see how people come to that conclusion. And to answer your question, like the actual hate that I get on my videos, I just delete it and I block that person. I don't let them comment on my videos anymore, and that really helps. But that's also why I made the decision not to do vlogs and not to have my husband in any videos, because I know I'm a sensitive person and I'm not ready to have that part of my life attacked, you know? Even though I know there's going to be more positive than negative, I just don't want to have to deal with that.
Oh my god, hi. Okay, so what's your favorite body scrub to make? Do you use a coffee, a sugar?
So
I want to
pretty.
make one, but I don't know which one to make. Did you go to school like after graduation, if you graduated? Did you go to college? And if you did, what for?
My favorite scrub to make is olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, brown sugar, and that's it. Like with those two things, I feel like that is just an amazing scrub. I did go to school. I got my bachelor's in business and marketing, and then of course I did my real estate courses.
Hey Liz, rainy day in Seattle.
It's raining here
My
too.
question to you is, what is your favorite day of the week? Mine's Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday. My favorite day of the week is Mondays because Mondays are like my Sundays. We basically just like do nothing. We hang out, chill out. All right, so I think I'm gonna stop the video here because it is getting dark and I want to upload this video tonight. But I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know me a little bit better. And as I mentioned, I wanted to talk to you guys about my new upload schedule for the fall time. I'm starting a fall series, and it's gonna be September and October. All fall related stuff because it's my favorite season and I want to do a lot more cooking videos and recipes and fashion. And I want to name this series, I want to give it like a cute name with the name fall in it, but I told you guys I'm terrible at names, so can you guys help me out? Let me know what I should call this series. And the new upload date is going to be on Sundays, so this would be a really good time to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and to turn on the notifications so you know when I upload videos, because sometimes I don't post it on Instagram or Snapchat. So there's a little bell right below this video. You can click on that and turn on the notifications, and that's going to let you know every time that I upload a new video so that you don't miss it. Thank you to everybody that submitted questions. You guys are so amazing and beautiful, every single one of you, and I will talk to you guys next time. Mwah. Bye.